service. And it goes back a long ways. We give it to somebody in Germany way back when. It started off as a resistance, conscription over there, forced one of my great-grandfathers to leave and come over here. But the service idea persisted, and my father was in this is in World War I. I go back a long ways. And he was in that war and the First World War and then the Second World War. I was in the Air Force, and we had very interesting times at Randolph Field. We made many contributions, I think, to science and so forth there. But what I would like to do is to talk about both of my brothers. First, Charlie. He volunteered and went to officers training school and became a forward observer. And you can imagine the stories that come out of that. But he was in the first landing party at Leyte, and Leyte was a terrible conflagration. But he was in the landing barge with another officer who was carrying the radio, and the plank went down and they all started off, and immediately the guy that was carrying the radio was shot and fell, and Charlie grabbed the radio and went on up and wended his way. There'd been a lot of air support, and there were many big craters and potholes. And he got up over the edge, and you have to go up about 30 or 40 feet and on the beach to get to a place where you can observe anything that the enemy is doing. And so he dug in there, and he spent, according to him, 2 or 3 hours directing the fire from the boats out on the beach, and it was very vital to the whole effort. But the Japanese had a mine, and it was in the form of a disc, and it's about 2 inches deep and a foot or 2 across, and they roll us down into places. And while he was observing and so forth, somebody rolled one of these into the place where he was in the pit, and of course it went off. And it took his arm and face and a lot of bleeding, and he was practically unconscious. But he said that he can remember being there, crawling out of this hole, and variously coming to consciousness and crawling back. And he had a watch that he was very proud of, and he saw it lying on the ground. He just he said, "Nick, so I got to bother with that." But anyhow, he did wend his way back down finally, and I finally met him further down on the beach. But he really was very vital in protecting himself in that station. So, to Charlie Dienst, I really glad to have this opportunity to tell this story once again. And he doesn't tell it too much himself, but I gather fragments of it and I put it back together. So here's to the brave men at Normandy and at Leyte and all the places we had to depend upon the bravery and commitment of our fellow servicemen. Thank you.